Hello and welcome. We have a special edition of Schoolstone here for everyone. I am MartyB, and joining me is THL Leumer. Leumer, how you doing?
I'm doing just fantastic. How are you, sir?
I am great. Things are pretty good here. Pretty relaxing. Nice, easygoing weekend. Just binge watching a few shows,
Oh
here
yeah,
and
coming
there.
out of the holiday season, it's always nice to just detox and relax a little bit. Everyone can use it.
Yeah, it's been great. I hope your start of the new year has been great so far, and I hope all our viewers feel the same. So,
Yeah, me and my wife have actually done 4 escape rooms in the last 2 days.
that's very impressive.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't
that was our welcome to the new year present for ourselves.
Honestly, I didn't even know escape rooms were still going on.
Yeah, it's really good because they're like closed environments that can be deep sanitized and no one goes in them until the next group goes in. And how they have it spread out with COVID regulations is great because they have specific appointments and get to sanitize everything before those appointments like roll over. So it worked out really, really well. It's cool how they're doing it.
That's great. I gotta go to one when I go home, whenever that is. so, anyways, this match we have Itachi from F2O Black versus basedinc on Dab on them in Hero. How you feeling about this?
It's a really, really cool match to have, especially on the stream. Based and Itachi being two of the most lauded players in THL for their skill specifically. So seeing a match off in the Hero Series is going. Like you said, they're coming from the Teal conference, where it's currently 14-7 in favor of Dab on them. So this is a important match for Itachi to win to salvage some of the points this week for F2O Black.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Itachi is facing an uphill battle though. He before we started this broadcast, he filled us in saying that he forgot to submit classes this week, which meant he rolled over.
Yeah, and we know rollovers can sometimes be okay if we're in the same meta for a while, but coming in with Demon Hunter is a little bit of an off meta pick along with the Druid that he has. It being Basting having Paladin, Rogue, Shaman, Warrior into Itachi's Demon Hunter, Druid, Rogue, and Warrior.
Yeah, this is looking like it'll be very difficult for Itachi right off the start. You gotta wonder, what are the bans here?
Actually, we just got those bans in. It looks like Itachi went ahead with the Paladin ban and Based went ahead with the Rogue ban.
All right, so we have it right there. Now, we will give them the go ahead to get started, and then once they're ready, we'll go into the match.
Yeah, this one's going to be very, very exciting, especially seeing how Itachi navigates having 2 classes that are not the most on meta right now.
Absolutely. So we're just waiting on that. And once they enter, we will go in.
Important to note that neither of these players have hit Legend yet this season, but they are comfortably sitting in Platinum.
Man, I was all the way up at rank 1, now I'm down at rank 16 in Wild. I am sad. I tanked quite a bit yesterday.
I mean, at the start of the season, that's got to happen with so many people entering.
Well,
Right?
it was more that I played one too many games of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
certain decks, and I lost quite a few in a row. But it's fine.
I'm
Everything
sure
is
you'll
fine.
reclaim the title by the end of the season.
We'll see how it goes. Okay, it seems like they are going in right now,
Yep, they are currently in the
and
game.
we will
So
have based on the bottom. So first up, we have Based playing Shaman and Itachi playing Warrior.
important to remember that this is a closed decklist series being Hero Series, and on top of that, both of these players being as skilled as they are certainly prepared for the fact that it is last heroes standing, meaning that the class that wins will be a class that sticks around for the next game.
Correct.
It actually looks like Itachi is bringing a warrior that I have messed around with quite a lot and has a similar list. It's kind of a pirate warrior, but it's more a menagerie, and it's very, very aggressive.
Yes, this is a menagerie warrior list. We see the Ringmaster's Baton coming out early. Looking like Itachi's going to go with Prize Vendor turn 2. No surprise there.
Yep, lines up really well with the baton going into the 1/1 of the Novice Engineer. On base side, it looks like a pretty traditional Bugs by Knuckles Evolved Shaman list.
Yeah, base is just going to take things easy from here. Just to start.
She's got a very, very scary hand once we get to that turn 5. We just got to get there.
Yeah, Itachi's going to do everything he can to make sure that base is low on health before she can make it to that point.
And that's something that we've been seeing come out and happen, is that a lot of the time players to counteract this Shaman deck are either one, banning it in Hero Series specifically because Shaman does have a lot of sweet potential, or they're bringing hyper aggressive decks to try to counter the weaker early game of the Evolved Shaman list, and that looks to be the strategy that we're seeing Itachi employ.
Yeah, I can speak on the sweet potential. I got pretty much swept by this in a 1-3 match yesterday.
Yeah, it happened to me last week. I lost two to it right out the gate.
Yeah, I had turn 3 Lightning Bloom into Bogspine every single game against me.
It's pretty good.
So not even Cobalt Sticky Fingers could save me?
Nah, that's 2 turns away.
Yeah, I even had Sticky Fingers in hand at one point, and it did nothing. I was very sad. Base still taking it slow. Don't blame her here.
Yeah, it looks to be more of a mid-range list than I'm used to from Itachi as well, playing things like the Circus Amalgam and the Sticky Finger on top.
Now, I do like this list from Itachi. Get the baton early, buff your hand, put some fat minions on the board. What's your opponent going to do?
Luckily for base, she has a semblance of an answer with having the Revolve in hand to make sure that Sky Raider gets a little bit more in check. However, that is also very, very risky, especially with the amount of damage that's already on board, and evolving that Sword Eater into a different 4-drop could be pretty catastrophic.
Oh, this hurts. I think that's going to be it for base here.
Yeah, I don't see a way for her to get this game back. Ooh, especially with a Waxadread on the other side.
Yeah, that Horde Pillager does nothing.
I think you try to revolve them into Doomsayer.
Well, first you want to play your minions out. Then you'll want to revolve. And probably Broomstick after you attack with the Mogu.
Yeah. We might see a clear here if we can get some lucky rolls.
Time to find out.
Definitely not the greatest rolls. We see a Sathravar come out along with an Owl and an Eyesore. While Eyesore in Shaman is a fantastic card.
Doesn't really do anything here.
Doesn't do anything with Evolved Shaman, yeah.
Yeah, this is looking really close. Base might be able to stabilize.
Base could potentially stabilize, but we're also looking at 4 damage this turn from just the Knuckles if we decide to go face, and the Corsair Cache is in hand.
What next?
We also have the Coerced go ahead and try to clear off like the Caligos, get rid of the biggest threat on the board.
I don't even know if you have to clear the Calic.
You might not have to. You might just be able to play Circus Amalgam But if that's the case, then I would attack after playing the stage hand. Yeah, he's gonna go with chorus play.
All right. Bloodsail Corsair coming down. 4 damage to face.
Ooh, that satyr is not great.
That is not what Itachi wanted to see.
No, any 3 cost that had about a 3/3 and was active that turn was great.
Yeah.
Preferably 4 health to get out of the range of the history buff.
Yeah, so base has a few decisions here. She goes for the totem first. I don't mind the totem personally.
No, I think it's pretty good, especially if you're just gonna. Ooh.
Yeah,
So
so
it looks
she
like
can
we're
either
gonna clear the 2/2. No, okay, yeah, we're gonna play the taunt minion just in case. And with Itachi having that Corsair cash in hand, that ends up being the correct play.
yeah, that eyesore is going to start getting value now.
The buffest healing totem we're ever gonna see.
This is still going to be very difficult for base to get out of.
Especially with having the Horde Pillager not be active because of Sticky Finger, which is why it's such a good inclusion right now.
The biggest issue is base is dealing with more burst potential from Itachi. As we see from his hand, he has a Tent Crasher to answer the taunt. And an Ankar to deal 2 damage, or 4 damage over 2 turns, which would be lethal.
Yeah, we have to find another taunt minion on the side of based for sure. And I think that's why we keep rolling totems.
Yeah, there's also a chance that Itachi just gets lethal here. If he pulls a South Sea Deckhand,
South Sea.
it's over.
Yep, it would just be lethal on this turn, so we'll see what the Ankar pulls out for us.
What do we get here?
Sword Eater is a great card in this spot, but not lethal this turn.
I do want to point out, Itachi could have won at this point. He missed 1 damage, or 2 damage, from his South Sea Deckhand earlier in the game.
Yeah, the game would have indeed been over, and this gives base a chance to potentially come back if she can top deck some semblance of evolve. Doesn't look like it's there. We need a taunt totem.
Dude, but it's not out of the realm of possibility yet. Oh, and she whiffed.
Yep, so that looks like it will be game on the side for Itachi going up 1-0 over based, and the warrior will stay on the table.
There you have it. Now, if you're based, what are you playing next against that that warrior?
With the paladin being banned, I think that leaves us with probably playing rogue into that warrior. Rogue into that warrior doesn't seem too bad because the rogue swarms the board so quickly, and that really is like a more aggro mid-range type of deck coming out of Itachi.
Well, let's find out. Rogue it is.
My client is bugged, so I'll join you back in 1 second.
All good. So base has a bit of a spicy pick with Flick Skyshiv in her deck. Can't help but assume that's for
Probably.
Druid.
Yeah, saw the druid and thought maybe it's clown. Might as well bring the flick. I do know that Itachi is a big fan of Malagos druid, so that might be something that we see.
That's your cue. Get out there.
Game's starting pretty slow here. Base just going to get that value off of Wand Thief. Combustion is a fantastic pickup here. That'll deal with a lot of minions on Itachi's side of the board.
I'm still logging back.
Itachi choosing a trade here. It's a very interesting trade. Gives this 3 damage so that he could get rid of the Wand Thief. Now, Based can't Shadow Step if she wants to. Going for Coin, Miscreant. Let's see what kind of lackeys we get. Rush and Cobalt.
Rush and Cobalt should both be good lackeys in this kind of board-centric matchup.
Yeah, she's gone for the Prep Combustion play, just to clean up the board a bit. Puts her ahead with a 1-4 and a 1-1 on board. Itachi gets the ever so important Ringmaster's Baton. Buffs up 2 minions in his hand. Gets out a 4-3 stagehand with that too.
Luckily, the Cobalt lackey lines up into this super well, being able to clear off with the first half the Miscreant and picking up a second Miscreant, able to combo it out.
Yeah, those ethereal lackeys will be doing a lot of work.
This is one of the problems with this warrior deck that I've noticed, is that a lot of the time, because you don't really have a refill mechanic like Battle Rage or something like that, you can run out of cards very quickly unless you can hit your Ringmaster, or rather, yeah, your Ringmaster to refill that hand.
Yeah, it is a problem. That 5-4 South Sea deckhand is pretty intimidating though.
Ooh, the Jandis pickup. Instead, we're going to go for a Secret Passage.
I like the Secret Passage here. You need answers to the board.
And we do find them with a Brain Freeze coming out of it, along with a Wall Kick to refill the hand.
Very curious to see what we pull from the Brain Freeze here. Another Miscreant.
Yeah, this is a lot of resources in a resource-based matchup, so it's looking good on base sides right now.
That's also one of the best Reborns she can get.
Yeah, the only thing you'd probably want to see in the 7-drop range other than that is the 6/8.
Absolutely. Well, Itachi got his refill. 5 mana, 3/5, draw 3. Pretty good.
Yeah, and that was what I'm talking about. As long as you can get that 3-card draw, you usually can last throughout the game. But if you can't hit that card, it becomes hard a lot of the time. Ooh, a Twilight Runner.
Not bad.
Yeah, we definitely picked the Twilight Runner in this situation, leaving the Worm Weaver up. We can even Shadow Step the Jandis to immediately proc the Worm Weaver here.
Looks like we're doing just that. And then we're going to rush the Twilight Runner and just get rid of that Watley.
Yeah,
I like this a lot.
along with drawing us 2 cards, that Jandis was absolutely nuts.
Base is just way ahead now.
Luckily, the Tent Trasher is a 6/6, so it'll be able to clean up the second half of the Worm Weaver.
It will. But I don't know if that's enough. Looks like base is
the
going
World
for
Kick.
the World Kick value engine. Got a few options there. These are all looking like value cards to me.
I think Blizzard is fantastic. Just look at the card generation coming out of the side of Based. I mean, what do you do against a rogue that generates this many cards? Against a deck that really doesn't have that generation, you just have to kind of beat them down.
Yeah, it's just unfair.
Especially with this Blizzard in her back pocket. I mean, if anything comes back on the side of Itachi, it's immediately shut down.
Yeah, there are very few decks, though, that you will see deal with the board and increase their hand size. And Base just did that with this rogue deck.
Worthy or unworthy?
On the side of Itachi, we're still going to try. We're going to dig with the Corsair Cache to find the Baton, unfortunately having 2 pirates in hand.
Yeah, my issue with Itachi is that he still hasn't been able to do any face damage whatsoever.
No, which is we know his deck is a little bit more mid range than maybe the traditional Menagerie Aggro Warrior. However, with doing 0 damage at this point in the game, with based just having infinite cards, it's very difficult to see a reality in which Itachi brings this back.
Just more and more value here.
I think you take Zai, yeah. You can set it up so that potentially Zai gives you Jandis again.
I don't think it matters what you get from Zai. You have
It
so much
doesn't at
value
this
in
point.
hand.
Especially with there not being a way to clear the questing this turn. Itachi might dig for it. The only clear to the questing is finding South Sea off of this.
Didn't get it. Concede on the spot.
And that would put it 1-1. Based and Itachi all tied up. The Rogue staying out for Based. And what do you think's coming out from Itachi for the next game?
I think we're going to see the Druid, actually.
What makes you want to bring in the Druid into this situation?
If Itachi brought Aggro Demon Hunter, then it has no chance against the Rogue. If it's any other sort of Demon Hunter, though, maybe he'll play it. So I don't like
it. Might be OTK Demon Hunter.
We will have to find out.
But it is the Druid, which makes the aggro DH bring probably likely.
Watch your back.
Looks like Itachi brought a Malyghost Druid build.
Yes. Currently, all of these cards are played in the Highlander Druid as well.
This is true. I did see Omu, though.
Yes, Omu is also in the Highlander Druid.
Okay.
However, knowing Itachi, I think that it probably is a Malyghost Druid. Especially taking the Breath of Dreams there.
Based is just going to take this easy here. Itachi getting ready for that turn 3 overgrowth. Always a good play.
Nothing feels better. Other than turn 2 overgrowth sometimes. Finds the Alex for the Breath of Dreams as well.
Looks like he's going to go for it this turn, too. Can't
I
blame
mean, you
him.
might as well in this spot, right? You already have a big card to be ramping toward. You have a lot of card draw in hand with the Guess the Wait.
Absolutely. That overload is minimized by the cycle as well. Or by the ramp, I should say.
Yeah, we're finding a lot of activators from Itachi, but not a lot of actual threats until we just picked up that Ysera off the top.
See if you can get that next draw.
Now, do you know the answer? With Guess the Wait, does it count that as a 0 cost card? Yeah, it does, because we guessed more and got it.
Yes,
or
it
did we
does.
guess less and get it? We guessed more, I'm assuming.
Yes,
So
we guessed more.
Counts it as 0 when drawn, which is really cool.
Correct. Looks like we're going to see an evil miscreant here.
Maybe we'll find a rogue secret off a lackey and start doing things with Hanar, but unlikely.
Are able to do that, though. Secrets
Mage
will-
would actually be the way to go with the Discover for the Wand Thief to try to find a mage secret.
No luck there. That Pyroblast, though.
I like this line a lot. Playing the Wand Thief first opens up the secret possibility while still being able to play our Miscreant afterwards. So I like that line a lot from Based. It was well thought out. Another Breath of Dreams.
I don't even know if we're going to go for the Breath of Dreams here.
Oh, we might not here. We might do something like coin Alex or coin Ysera. I'm thinking coin Ysera probably. We could also do both. We could Breath of Dreams and then use Lightning Bloom. But yeah, I just like Corvus Era along with the Iron Bark.
My dream is your nightmare.
Yeah, it looks like Itachi's gonna go for the Bloom Breath of Dreams to try to get a dragon here.
He has the Alex in hand. Oh, to get the dragon on board. I catch
Yes,
it.
yes.
Doesn't find it.
No, that's okay though. Turn 6,
Yeah, we know
5, 15, 12.
as Itachi does as well that this rogue deck, the World Kick rogue, does not play any saps or anything, so they have to rely on discovering it.
Correct.
We did see the flick though, so Based might be teched out for the Druid matchup and also be packing some saps. You never know. So what is your game plan on the side of Based?
You just have to plunder this away, get it off the board, and then go face. You need to put pressure.
Yeah, you need to apply as much pressure as possible, right? And against the Druid deck that just made a 5/14 taunt, that's kind of hard. Because you're clearing a lot of your board. But this rogue deck is really good at clearing minions and maintaining card advantage, which we see there as well as we saw last game.
Yeah, Base did get through it.
The problem that Itachi's running into here, we have the Malygos, we have the Alexstrasza, and we have no burn in our hand at all.
Yeah, and he's facing lethal here.
Yeah, we have to deal with the board in some manner.
How curious.
Or does he not? Wait, does Base have lethal?
Base has double eviscerate for lethal,
Okay.
but Itachi doesn't know that, right? So, assuming that there's not double eviscerate, it looks like we're just gonna Alex aggressively and then Crystal Power ourselves.
Yeah. Or
Take the 2 damage off the board. Okay.
and there's your activator. So Base is 2 damage off. Correct?
Which that Crystal Power saved. I think we might see a Karta, yeah. Karta Defender to go ahead and block off this dragon. So it actually is incredibly interesting to me that we are clearing the Alexstrasza after playing the Karta Defender.
I think this makes a lot of sense, actually. The idea is Base wants to play around any chance of a taunt or Itachi copying it. That could be very bad later. Oh.
If we push damage face there, would we not be in lethal range this turn
We would.
with double eviscerate? We would. Okay.
We would.
So I think it was a half measure play. The aggressive player in me would have just spammed face, but I could definitely see the argument for still clearing after playing the Karta.
Yeah, it's just not going to matter because Base has lethal right here.
Yeah, she does have lethal indeed, exact lethal with the double eviscerate. So it ended up working out quite perfectly and puts Base 2-0 in the series. As Rogue is still sticking around to battle into that Demon Hunter.
There you have it. So all that's left is Itachi's Demon Hunter. Gonna have to get through both the Rogue and the Warrior on Based's side.
This Demon Hunter is in an awful position.
Let's see what kind of Demon Hunter Itachi brought.
Determined to win this. Watch
It is aggro.
It's aggro.
your back.
Oh, and with a Foxy Fraud Brain Freeze start, that is the worst thing that aggro Demon Hunter wants to see. And the Pharaoh Cap Prize Blunder.
You hate to see it. And this is just,
Especially with such awkward hands.
yeah. Seeing no 1-drop coming down turn 1 on Itachi's side has to be rough for him.
At that point, I even consider playing the beaming sidekick just to have something to do.
Absolutely. You get something here, but that's not going to do much. Umberwing
No,
gets taken
especially
care of
us
so
being
easily.
able. Yeah, we can see based hands, so we know that there are clears on clears for anything the Aggro Demon Hunter wants to do.
I mean, even just looking at the board and Rogue's hero power, this gets cleaned so easily.
Yeah, even if Bates did not have a turn 2 play, Dagger is perfectly valid for a turn 2 play. However, the Temple Berserker does come down, which is a big threat for Aggro Demon Hunter. A very big threat for Aggro Demon Hunter.
Yeah, it makes the weapon very, very awkward. In particular, this one here,
Yeah.
Dreadlord's Bite. Because
You do
dealing
not
1
want to-
damage, it's going to activate the Enrage, and then you're going to have to sink 3 damage, only for it to be reborn again with 3 attack.
Do you think Itachi just tries to completely ignore the board? Can you afford to?
Absolutely not.
I don't think you can, but it's so awkward to clear.
The entire appeal of Aggro Demon Hunter was that it was an aggro deck that beat other aggro decks on the board. Like, this is an aggro suppressant.
And with the nerfs, that is no longer the case anymore when it comes to the rogue that just has more resources and more ways to stick on board. The 1 attack nerf to Dreadlord's Bite is very big, as well as Voracious Reader going to 3 mana.
Shadow Step.
Yeah, Shadow Step is fantastic. Especially with the Taunt Lackey in hand.
Yeah, Taunt Lackey comes down. This is another 5 damage that Itachi has to conjure up now.
And honestly, I don't. You have the double Twin Slice to sink into it, right? Or you have Twin Slice hero power. But what are you doing past that? I think we just have to try to Wriggling Horror this and get some semblance of a board.
Yeah, there's just nothing else to do.
However, the Flick Skyshiv off the coin has something to say about these beaming sidekicks. Starting off with Prep Swindle.
Bad.
Oh, we don't even have to flick anymore.
We
Questing
don't.
backstab, so good.
If we want, we can Shadow Step the Taunt Lackey, get it out, and then play Prize Plunderer just to get rid of the second one. We have exactly 4 damage already, so it didn't matter.
I think I like taunting up the Reborn minion here.
I like this as well. Yeah,
I
this
think
is.
we might concede for Itachi if he doesn't find what he wants on these acrobatics.
I don't even know what you want to pull.
There, Base takes the series 3-1, which is absolutely huge for Dab on him, having a really, really big week.
Yeah, that brings them up to 18 points on the week. Well done to Dab on him.
Huge. Do you want to get Based in here?
Yeah, I will reach out to her and have her join.
Yeah, 18-point week in Hero is absolutely staggering. That is going to increase their standing quite a bit, and I would be surprised if we don't see their ranking be a Golden Legendary this week on the show that Based herself co-commentates on THL Pow Podcast.
Base, how you doing?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely huge win, giving your team 18 points this week. How you guys feeling about this one?
I mean, it feels good to get a big win after getting slapped the week before. And to do it against F2L is probably a bit of luck. You know, I don't expect it to be that wide of a margin going into a week with F2L.
Yeah, absolutely. F2L is looking really killer this season, but you're out here showing that dab on them is no joke as well. Let's run through this match a little bit. What was your thought process coming into it, seeing the Druid and Demon Hunter bring? Did you know prior that Itachi had rolled over, or were you thinking that it was a different strategy?
No, I was like, oh, Itachi's going with some different stuff, and then later I found out that he just accidentally rolled over.
Gotcha. So, can you talk us through your thought process on the decks you decided to bring this week into the Druid Demon Hunter specifically?
Okay. Well, I won't talk about the warrior. I didn't. Nobody saw that. Let's see. So, or the paladin. But I brought Roll Kick Rogue. I was kind of trying to decide between banning the warrior and the rogue. But I felt like I could cover the warrior with specifically paladin, which got banned. So I was a little worried about that one. And he had like a very aggressive warrior, which it kind of just ran out of steam against the rogue, but it can get under the rogue. And then, evolve shaman's just evolve shaman.
Yeah, absolutely. We're bemoaning your hand in the evolve shaman game a little bit, just seeing how fast Itachi's warrior seemed to be.
I mean, if he doesn't draw Sticky Finger, I don't know if he can win that, because my turn 6 is the same one I did, but with the weapon swing and not into an evolved ward of his own.
The Sticky Finger definitely was the closer in that game.
I mean,
especially since Horde Pillager ended up being in hand and it was just overall.
Yeah. Well, if I stick that board, it's 2 10 drops, like alongside of a full board that just value traded whatever he played. So you just can't beat that.
As long as there's no Dark Moon Rabbit there, it's pretty much curtains.
I mean, I'll take a Dark Moon Rabbit and just preserve the rest of my board.
True. Yeah, but congratulations again. We saw some crazy value generation out of that rogue deck, as well as seeing the Flick Sky Shiv. Was the Flick in there for the potential of Clown Druid?
That was an afterthought. Afterwards, I was like, "Oh, this works against Druid." The only thing that really, Soul Demon Hunter is kind of a worry, but OTK Demon Hunter is really good against Rogue. So if you just pressure them early and then have Flick in hand, when they go to Moarg to heal up, then you remove Moarg from the game, and it's almost impossible to lose now.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that makes absolute perfect sense to me. So the Flick Bring was really, really cool for us from the caster's side of it. Just seeing, okay, it's probably there for Cloud Druid, and then you staying there for OTK Demon Hunter makes a lot of sense, and that's not something that I can.
Yeah, I wasn't too concerned about Clown Druid as the rogue, because it's really hard for Druid to get there. You gotta have both get there and stuff. So they've got to have a hot start and then also be able to play clowns pretty early, because you just don't contest their board and they do a bunch of chip damage and then they finish it with burn, which I'm sure you saw was my game plan, picking Pyroblast. Yeah.
I will say there was one line in that game that I had a question on. Me and Marty were a little bit split on it. Marty was with your play, and I was a little bit against it. Not so much against it as it was very interesting to see the discrepancy between very aggressive play versus a half measure play, which is what you ended up going with. That gave you exact lethal the turn after. The clearing of the Alex Straza after playing the Kartit Defender. What was the thought process there?
Oh, I mean, I'm assuming that it's Mally Druid, and the only way I'm losing that game is if that Alex ever connects. I can push the game longer. I have Pyroblast in hand, but if I take 8 at any point, the games could end just like pretty easily.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense to me. I agree, especially since you ended up having exact lethal next turn with.
Yeah, I didn't expect to get exact lethal, but it was like these eviscerates are gonna go face eventually. I could trade in the Cartoot, like if like the second one, doesn't, or if I don't generate like damage or something, or like a brain freeze, which I end up getting both of, luckily.
And obviously a player on Germination as well in Malgus Druid specifically.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think he was going to be in Pyroblast that range that turn, and I was 2 turns away, so if I just found a way to survive, and I think I had the tools in my hand still.
Yeah.
I don't remember specifically.
Yeah, I believe you did as well. But yeah, Marty, do you have any questions?
I think you covered that beautifully, Leumer. No questions from my end. I think everything was covered. Congrats once again. Best of luck in the season. And thanks to both you and Itachi for coming on.
Yeah, do you have any shout outs?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, shout out the GOAT connoisseur, the GOAT boat connoisseur, Itachi. Always a pleasure. Excellent player. I think that he was a little down about the rollover, but I think he still brought some nice brains.
Definitely. So, yeah, I think that wraps up our class today. So we will see you around next week on Schoolstone. Thanks again to everyone here. I want to thank Leumer for helping me cast. I want to thank Lotus, Itachi, and you, Based, for finding the matches, and this match in particular this weekend. And I hope everyone has a happy new year, and we'll see you around.
See you guys later.
Take it easy.